Okay, good evening to you all. Today is 4th January 2025, which is our day one of these 2 days. It's one formula and functions that we are going to hold. Like always, whenever I'm having a webinar, I start by showing our outlines. That is what we are to cover for the entire webinar. So, our D1 outlines, that is what we are to cover today. First of all, we'll have an introduction about the webinar, what the webinar is all about, what to expect at the end of the webinar, and how it's going to be, carried on. So I'll explain about that, and you'll have a brief understanding about the webinar. Again, we'll talk about formula and function. What is formula, what is function, or what are formula and functions. We'll talk about that. You will have an understanding of what they are before we started, discussing about them. So I'll talk about that also today. And after that, we'll just go ahead and start working with the formula and the functions we did about we have one of them. So today maybe we can cover like 40, 41 or 42 of them. Then tomorrow we finish it. So after that, when we did all the practicals and everything, then uh, we'll have a question and answer with you. If you have any question, then I respond to your questions. And after that, then we have conclusion, and then we call it a day. So these are our outlines. That is the four items that we are going to cover for the day. Okay. So, about the webinar, what the webinar is all about, you know, uh, this is a free live webinar because we are doing it live together. You are here with me, and the webinar is going to last for 2 days, today and tomorrow. I'm going to explain its one formula and functions for you. Uh, this formula and function are normally analytical explorations that we are going to learn, and we're going to have 100% practical of each. So all these H1 formula and functions that we're going to discuss about, we're going to have practical of them. I'll first explain about them. When I explain about each formula, then we do a practical of it, and you see how you can apply it in your day-to-day activities. So that's how it's going to be. So each formula we take, we'll explain it, what you can do with it, and then we do practical of the formula, and we move on from there. So what to expect at the end of this webinar, I believed by tomorrow when we are done with the webinar, some of you I know, even not all, at least you will have, some formula in your head. You'll have some formula in you that you can be able to apply whenever you're working with data. Whenever you have data with you, you will know what to apply, what to get, or how to bring insights about the data based on the formula and function that you are about to learn today. So, like all these analytical skills that has to do with data, the more you have the formula in you, the more you can do a lot of things with the data. So if I know, for example, 150 or 100 formula and 20 or 30, I can do more than you. So that's how it is. So you need to learn as many as you can. These H1 are not the only formula that are available out there. There are lots of them. There are many, many, many of them. But I chose to do this because it's just a beginner level that everyone can learn this and everyone can follow along this class to learn this uh, formula and function because they are very simple, they're very straightforward. It's just maybe you don't know they exist, or maybe you don't know how to use them, or you don't know how to apply them, but they are out there, they are very easy to use. You need to memorize them, you need to have them in you so that whenever you have something to do, you know there is an existing formula or function that you can apply to do whatever you want to do. So this is it, introduction to it and what to expect at it. And yeah, some people are asking me whether I will give you maybe a handout or I'll give you this. No, I'm not giving anything. Or some of you that are always with me that are maybe attending my webinars and what my classes, I don't give handouts. I want you to have the understanding. Yeah, you can write whatever you want to write. You can go ahead and do that. You have your own note, jot whatever you want to jot, but you need to memorize everything, learn how to bring it, how to use it whenever the need arises. So, yeah, so I don't give all that. All these formula and function, you need to have them in you. So anytime you have something to do, please just think of them and apply them so that you can go ahead and, you know, use them the way you want. So this is it, and this is all about the webinar, and I think we are good to go. So the next thing on our outlines for today is for us to have an understanding of what is formula and what is function. That's what we need to understand before we started the work. So whenever we talk about formula, whenever you hear formula, we are talking about a mathematical expression using mathematical symbols that brings out a specific result. So it's an expression that you use, or you give the computer, or you write, not normally on a computer, even on a sheet of paper, you write it. That's the expression. The mathematical expression that you write is the formula that will bring out a particular result for you. There are lots of formula, we know them, even in other professions, not like maybe data and others. There are lots of formula in other scientific professions and other social science professions. And such formula, whenever the formula were used, they bring out some particular result based on the expression that was given in the formula. So that's what formula is all about. So for the function is a predefined formula. So function, you're not the one to write the mathematical expression. You don't need to write that. Is the formula is already there. Function was created, function was developed, and whenever you call the function already has a predefined formula in it. So it will just execute what you call the function to do for you. So that's what function is all about. So function is like a predefined formula, not the expression itself. For example, the derivation of a formula can be 1 line, 2 line, 4 lines, whatever lines you want to use. Go ahead and use them. But for a function, you don't need to see all the derivation. All you need is to call. When you create the derivation, for example, you can rename the derivation. Maybe you can call it sum, or maybe addition. When you rename it on that name, it's a formula you created, but you rename the formula and make it to be a function. So whenever you call the function of maybe addition or sum, that expression, that mathematical expression that is under that function that you created will just execute what ever mathematical expression you have inside the function. So this is what it is, and what we are going to discuss about, you will see how it is. You see the example of the formula, you also see the example of the function, because one thing about this uh, formula and function is that they're very easy to understand, especially when we are going to use it. They're very easy to understand. So as we started using them, you're going to see the different, you're going to understand the different, and you're going to see that, okay, this is this and this is that. So this is it, and I believed you have understanding at least of what formula is all about and what function is all about. And we are going to start using them. And again, there is one thing I need to say. All these formula and function that we're going to discuss about, uh, they are going to be like a single way of using them. Even though we'll reach a stage where some of them will just concat them together and maybe create a very maybe complex maybe expression or analysis with them. But you can go ahead and use them. Sometimes you can use formula in function, or you can use function in formula. All that I think that you can also use while doing that. So I think let us begin with this. So I'm opening my my Microsoft Excel, because that's what we are going to use. And all this that we are going to use, I'm going to use this because it's the one that maybe A lot of people are using it and a lot of people can have access to work with. But take note, most of the formula and function that we are going to use now, some of them are applicable across all other analytical tools that you might maybe have or you might find. For example, like maybe in Power BI when you are using the DAX, maybe data analysis expression, all these functions we are going to use are still applicable there. And also some of these functions you will find them in SQL, you'll use them there, you'll use them in Stata, you'll use them in a lot of different analytical tools. You can go ahead and use them. So let us begin. I'm going to open my Microsoft Excel file and we are going to start. And before I start also, I'm using latest version of Microsoft uh, Excel. So I don't know, maybe if you're using 2007, I know that some people are still using 2003. So if you're using 2003 or 2007 or 2010, 13, 16, yeah, there are certain functions, yeah, maybe I might use which you don't have in your outdated version. So my version is of the up to date version, but I know some few you don't have them. I know, but some of them you can have them. So if you want to have all what I'm going to teach you, because as we are recording this class is live, today is 4th January 2025. If you don't have updated version, please, you can get updated version. Definitely, you can do whatever I'm going to do. But if you have outdated ones, so it's not, you are going to see maybe some, differences between me and mine and yours. So uh, you should be aware of that, please. Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm stopping the sharing of my screen and I'm opening the file. I'm sharing my screen back. I'm with you. So if you can see my screen, please, you can let me know so that we can continue. Can you all see my screen, please? Can you all see my screen? Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the file that I'm going to use. It's just your registration file, the data that you submitted. So I remove some of the maybe sensitive information that I don't want anyone to see, maybe your email address, your phone numbers. I just get rid of that. And also I added one column of salary. Don't worry, I just put salary. It's not like I need the salary because we don't have the number there. There is a formula that we need to use something similar to that. So I put that and I created this particular ID for you. But I leave the full names. I want them there, the gender, the state, the LGA, highest qualification, and also how do you categorize your computer literacy. So these are all your data, is your information. So we are going to use this information to do all what we are going to do. Okay, so now the first formula that we are going to use, or the first set of formula that we are going to use, I'm going to write all the formula we will use. I'm writing them. I'm writing them. Maybe I'll write them somewhere as we will keep, you know, having track of all what we have done. I will just keep track of it. So let me just say CL serial number. I'll call it maybe formula or name of formula or function. Okay. So I think I'll do this. Yeah, I will do this so that since we say we are going to have H1, so I'm going to create up to H1 here. Okay, so let me stop at H1. So anyone that we are going to talk about, I'll just come and write it here. When I write it, then we come back, we apply it here, we write it back. That's how it's going to be until when we reach the H1. So that's how it's going to be. Okay. So um let's start. What we are going to first work with, we're going to use the simple arithmetic formula. That's what we are going to use. So this addition, I'm writing them all so that when we started working with them, we don't need to come back to this. So I'll write them all: multiplication, division, subtraction. So these are the first four. So let's go and work with them. When we come back, then we write another set of formula and we continue like that. So that's how it's going to be. So for the addition, I don't need to take much of your time when it comes to addition. You know what addition did, what multiplication did, what division did, and what subtraction. So these are the formula that I don't need to tell you or to explain. Maybe this, do that. So it's something that we can move. We are done with five. So let me just show you the how to apply them and we continue from there. Okay. So addition, we already know that for the addition, we use it to add two or more values together, to add them together to give us a particular result. That's what addition did. So whenever we want to get maybe a total of something, or want to add two or more columns or cells or any numbers together, we use addition for that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, for any formula and function in Excel, before you put the expression, you need to start with equal sign. That's how you're going to use. Please, I'm sorry to some of you, this is not 100% beginner of class of Excel. So some of you, I'm talking about maybe cell reference, I'm talking about other things. If you don't understand that, please, I highly recommend you watch some of my videos that I did for beginners where I explain Excel, what Excel is all about, all this workbook, all this interface, all this. I have about 60 something videos on that. You can go and watch that. I think will help you. But this is something that I know is for the intermediary people, and it's of, if you have basics of Excel, you can follow along this and you can understand everything that we are doing here. So I'm going to say equals to, let's say I want to add up all this salary together. Let's say that what I want to add up to get the total. So I'm starting with equal to. Okay, so let's say I want to add, let me say I want to add two or more cells here. Let me say I want to add them together. Let's say 1, 2, that's what I want to add. So I'm going to say this, that is this E2 plus E3, because that's where the second one is. So you see it turned into green and red. So I'm adding these two numbers, that is this and this, I'm adding them together. I want to see the total of that. So if I press enter, it will give me the total. That's what addition did in Excel. So I applied the addition formula using the mathematical symbol, that is the expression that we use, which is plus sign. We add them together. So you have plus sign on your keyboard, just put plus sign and you call the name. In Excel, when you are referencing values, you put the cell references, not the values. So if I come here, I change the values. Now, for example, I change it to 200,000 and I press enter. Automatically, you see where I did the formula changes automatically. You see it turns into 409. So whatever I did, it will affect what we have here. It will keep affecting it, and the value, even if we want the value to keep changing, and everything here will keep changing because we use the cell reference, not the actual values that are in the cell. So that's one thing about it. That's for the addition. And again, we have subtraction, which for the subtraction, is for you to remove something from something. So that's what subtraction is all about. So what we are going to use, let's say I want to subtract 50,000 out of this. It can be across all this. So let me just create another column here. I'll just right click. Sorry, I pressed equal sign already. So let me just right click here and say subtraction. So I'm going to say equals to this. I'm maybe removing, let's say 100,000 or 50,000 from each salary. But let me say 30,000 from each salary. That's what I'm deducting. So for example, a data was given to you and you were asked to deduct maybe some money out of each person salary or something like that. Go ahead and do this. When you put this, for example, you say this particular cell minus, that is the 30,000 that we want to remove. Then I press enter. You see, it removes 50,000 out of this, 30,000, not 50. It removes 30,000. That is 200,000. Now it is what? It is 170. So if you want, you can drag it down, or all you need to maybe make it very easier for yourself not to drag it up till down. All you need is to come to the edge of it here and double click. So it will apply across all the salary. It removes 30,000 out of each salary. So maybe this 30,000 is for transport, or maybe it's for something, or maybe it's for anything. So you can remove that. So again, for this addition, let me just even show you this. For example, for this addition that we apply here, I think it's better. Let's do it here so that we give example of this. So let's give example. Maybe we want to add bonus of 50,000 per each person on top of his salary. So what we are going to do is just for us to say equals to this particular salary of single person plus 50,000. You see, I just added 50,000 in it. So you press enter. All you need is to double click or to drag down and it will apply across every person. You see, so now when we have this, so we can remove this 30,000 maybe out of this addition, or we can go ahead and do whatever we want to do with that. So this is, another way of to do this addition and to do this subtraction. So let's come again and create the multiplication one. So for this multiplication, let's say each salary, we want to multiply each salary by 2. Maybe we want to do maybe double salary is December month. We want to give people double salary. So all you need to is to come to your data and say equals to this particular salary. That is the cell reference. I told you we are taking the cell reference. So this particular salary or person multiply, then you put the asterisk. So asterisk is the sign for multiplication. Then you put asterisk, that is star. You can call it star, but it's just asterisk. But we used to call it star. So you put E2 multiplied by 2. So I just said 2, so it multiply every salary times 2. All you need is to drag or to double click, then it will apply across all the people that are here. I have about 398 people down here. You see, it's about 398 people. So I don't need to drag it up till 398. So I just stop here. I do the multiplication. So that's what how you can do it, to maybe to add, to subtract, and also to multiply. So another thing that we are going to do is that the division, which, for example, let's say we want to divide the salary into 2. Yeah, maybe we want to pay half salary. We don't have much money. We want to pay half salary. So we just need to put equals to, come to the salary cell, divided. That is forward slash is the division sign on a computer. So you put forward slash, then you put 2. We are dividing each salary into 2 because we only want to pay, uh, you know, half of the salary. Maybe next month we will pay the remaining half of the salary. So these are the things that they are simple arithmetics, simple calculation that one can go ahead and do for you to add something, for you to subtract something, for you to multiply something, and also for you to divide something. These are the ways that you can go ahead and use this, uh, you know, uh, simple arithmetics calculation. They are the formula, they are among the first set of formula that you need to learn, you need to know how to work with, you need to know how to apply them. You need to, because all what we are doing, most of what we are doing, we use them. Most of what we are doing, we use this formula to do that. So please put them in your dictionary, put them in your database. Yeah, so that we go ahead from there. So that's all for the division and this and that. So the next thing we are going to do is, let me come back to our formula sheet where we are writing the formula. So I think I'm going to write sum. So we are going to, the number 5 formula we are going to use is sum. So sum is a formula, it's like advanced formula, or it's a function of addition. So this addition that we just did is the formula. So sum is the function of the formula, of the addition formula. So what sum did is that now we don't need to use the addition sign. We don't need to do that. And we also, all what we need to is to call the function and give the function the reference cells that we want it to add up together for us. That's what it did. So we are not writing the sign of the addition in it. So for example, I want to know the total of the entire salary when we are to pay half salary. So how much are we going to pay? So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say equals to sum, that is to call the name, sum open bracket, then you open your bracket, and you need to apply it across all these 398 cells that we have. So I'm dividing the salary of everybody as we said before. So let's know how much are we paying in total. So I can click on this, then I will hold Control Shift, then I will click on down arrow key from my keyboard, then it's going to do this for me. Sorry. Sum open bracket, I need to click it, then I need to do this. So exactly the way I show you. The reason why I show you this, let me do it again. We have a lot of cells. You can go ahead and hold your left click on your mouse. Just keep dragging. As you can see, I'm dragging up till when I reach the end. You see, that's where I'm going to stop. That's another way, second way, for example, again. And also another way you can know let me delete this. You can go ahead and know the beginning of the rows. That is, we are in, for example, I2 to I399. So I2 to I399. I can come here and say equals to sum, open bracket, I2. You see it just being color on the I2. Then you put colon. Colon stand for the range where you want it to sum for you. So colon I2 colon I399. So it will sum everything for you. It will do the highlighting for you. These are the all methods that you can apply the function whenever you want to use it. But the first one that I show you, which is if you delete this, you open your bracket, all you need to is to click here, hold your Control Shift, then you click on down arrow, that is to highlight everything for you. Then you close your bracket and you press enter. I want you to have the practice of closing the bracket. Yeah, some will tell you that you don't need to close bracket, but believe me, you need to close your bracket before you press enter, because it's a best practice. Because when we start applying maybe complex formula, if you didn't close your bracket, you are bound to get a lot of errors. You are about to get mistake when you are applying the formula. So this is a sum for function that we have. So you see now we apply this sum function, which we are paying 27,653,155. This is the sum function that we apply. In the sum, you see there is no any addition sign. There is no addition sign in it. You see, there is no addition sign in it. And also, if we are to apply addition in this, tell me how long is it going to take us to put 399 plus sign in this formula? So you see, that why function is there to simplify the formula. So like I told you before, when we started, when you create your derivation of formula, the derivation can be 1 line, 2 line, 4 line, whatever. But if you create a function of that, you just create a function, you rename the function. Whenever you call the function, all the block of codes that are under the function will be executed. Some of you that have the knowledge of programming and other, computer advanced maybe knowledge, you know what I'm saying. All programming languages has functions, you know that. So you create the function, but inside the function, you put a lot of blocks of code in the function. So whenever you call the function, then all the block of codes that are under the functions will be executed. I know that how it works, and some of you with the knowledge knows how it is. So this is how it works also in Excel. This sum function is a addition formula that was created in it, but is to simplify the work. So this is it, and this is how you apply the function. So we already got the total, which is this, and that's how you're going to do it. Okay. So let's continue. Another formula that we are going to discuss about is average. Okay. So we're going to talk about average, but average also is a function. It's just to get the mean number, the mean value within the range of the number. The average function that we are going to use the average function. Of course, we are going to use the average function because that's the function that we have in Excel. But that's not the average formula. But let me apply the average function and show you the average formula so that you will know that, okay, function is to simplify all these things that we are doing. It's just for you to know the name of the function for us to apply the function. We don't need to know the formula. We don't need to know the mathematical expression in the formula. The function was there for us, is there for us. Let's just use it. Let's just call the name and apply it. Okay, so I'm going to get the average of this division. Let's say this half salary that we are paying people. I'll call it half salary. So I want to know the total of this, the average of this half salary that we are paying, since we divide the salary into two. So that's what we are going to do. Okay, so I'm going to say equals to average. Just call the name average. That's the name of the function. You call the name average. All you need is to highlight the entire range of the code, which is I2 to I39, and you already know that. So I will click this, then I will hold my shift control down, then it will highlight everything for me. I'll close my bracket, then I press enter. Let me take it back, and this is the average. So the average is 69,480. So this is the average function. But this is not the average formula. The average formula, normally, the average formula is total sum divided by total count. So when you have the range of the number, you sum them together. When you sum them together, then you divide them by the total count of the numbers. Then it will give you the average. So in Excel, you don't need to suffer yourself to know the total sum, for you to know the total count, and then you divide them together to get the average. You don't need to do that. It was simplified for you. So now let me show you how to do that by just applying the mathematical expression of the average formula, because we use the average function. So now we know that we have 399. That's the total record that we have is 399. So I'm going to say this total sum, because it's the total sum of this half salary, this total sum divided by 399 is going to give us this exactly. So let me show you that. Let's say equals to total sum divided by total count, enter. It will definitely give you this. You see, this and this. Okay, so sorry, let me confirm this. Okay, it's 398. Sorry, it's not 399. So that why, because I saw the figure is not the same. So definitely I know we have mistake there. You see, it's 398. So this is it, not 399. So the total, this is 398. Let me press enter. Definitely it gave us this. So it's because we didn't add, this decimal place. So let's add for this one. You see, it gives us the same decimal places if we want. Everything must be the same. So when you use the function, when you use the formula, the result will be the same. There is no way you can have different result between the formula and the function. No way. Everything is the same. It's just maybe sometimes maybe you made mistake or you don't know how it is. But this is how it works. So this is the average, and this is how average works. So whenever you want to get the average or the mean number, please go ahead and apply this average functions to do it. And please have this average formula in your mind so that you'll not get confused sometimes. And maybe you can be asked, what is the average formula? You know the average formula and you know how to use it always. So that's for the average. Okay, so let's continue. So the next thing we are going to talk about, we are going to talk about percentage. So let me write it here so that we can have a track of what we are doing. So percentage. So percentage is just maybe a proportion of a whole value. That's what percentage is all about. A proportionate, maybe you want to get a proportion of something, or you want to know what made up of a whole something. So that is a percentage. So it's 20 people we have here. For example, what are the percentage of females? What is the percentage of males? So that's what percentage is all about. That's what percentage is all about. So we need to know the percentage. So the percentage formula, we already know the percentage formula. Or let me tell you, the percentage formula is always specific divided by total multiplied by 100. That's the percentage formula. Specific value or specific number divided by the whole sum number, that is the sum, the total, divided by the sum total or divided by the total number multiplied by 100. So that's how it is. So whenever you were asked to get proportion of something, please make sure you know what is the specific value and make sure you know what is the total sum of all the values. So that's how you are going to get the what? The percentage. So this half salary that we just got, Let me just say, we want to know the percentage of half salary. Sorry, I'm just using this half salary because I don't know why I'm using this half salary. I'm supposed to get rid of this. I use this normal salary, but we keep using the half salary. But it's okay. It's fine. Let me remove this multiplication and subtraction so that we are seeing what we are doing here also. So for us to get the percentage, let's say we want to know the percentage of of uh each person, maybe a percentage that each person is going to get, each staff is going to get based on this 27 million that we got of the total money that we are paying. So how much percentage is each of these people are going to get based on this? So when you are to get the percentage of this, the specific value is the salary of individual. That's the specific value. Where the total is the total sum of the entire salary, which we have it here already, 27 million. So this that's how this formula, percentage formula works. If you didn't get that, once you missed this specific divided by total, please, you are going to get mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in the formula and you not get the exact result. So always you need to get that. And sometimes you get confused. It's not always, like I said, know what is specific value and know what is the total. And make sure the total, that specific value must be part of the total. Put it at the back of your mind. That specific value must be part of the total. So specific divided by total multiplied by 100, that will give you the percentage. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to say equals to our specific salary of this particular staff divided by our total sum. That is specific, like we said, divided by total. This is the total sum salary. This is the total salary that we have. That is, we got this 27,653,155. So now in Excel, you don't need to put multiply by 100. You don't need to put that if you want to get the percentage sign. But if you like, just put times 100 and it's okay. It will do that for you, but you don't need to do that. So now press enter. You see, automatically it gives us this. Don't worry about this. It's because the cell is on the format of currency. So I'm clicking here. I'm taking it back to general format. So this is what we got so far. 0.003611. That's what we got already. So now I'm going to show you something. Most of you that are using Excel and most of you that are going to use, that are using this Excel, when you drag this, you see, I click on this total. I got the total already and I click the specific. Now, if you drag, you're going to get arrow. You're going to get arrow like this, div up till the end. You are not going to see the percentage. That's what you are going to see. Okay. So what I want to show you is that whenever you do this, okay, let me show you the reason why we got the arrow. The reason why you got the arrow is that, look at it now. When we click this must have salary, this specific value is what is G2. And this is what is N2, where our total is N2. Of course, yeah. G2, N2, take note of that. When we come down here, it come down to G3, but now it comes to N3. It means we are dividing this value with empty. Definitely is going to give us error. You can't divide a value with empty value or something like that. You can't do that. So that's why it shows this for us. So now what will happen is that if you don't want, when you drag, because whenever you drag, it goes across the cells. It just add one cells, one row for you whenever you are dragging. So plus G2, G3, G2, N3, N2, G3, N3, G4, M4. That's how it's going to continue, and we don't have anything down here. So what we are going to do now, when we click on this, we need to lock the formula. We need to lock the cell. So what we want is that when we are dragging or when we drag down here, we want these other cells to change. That is G2, G3, G4, we want them to go down. But this N2, we don't want this N2 to go anywhere. We don't want it to go anywhere. We want it to stay. We want it to stick to 1 because we are all applying this specific divided by this total. So the total is the same, but the specific is not. So that's what we are doing. So all what I'm going to do, I'm highlighting this. Just highlight it and click on F4 from your keyboard. You know where function key F4 is there. Just click on F4. Immediately you click on F4, you will see dollar sign before the column name, and you will see dollar sign before the row number. So that's how it's going to be. So it means we lock this particular uh, total. So now when I press enter and I come here, I double click to drag, you see it's going to give us all the values, because this is not going to change, but the specific will keep changing for us, but this total will remain where it is. So when you have this in Excel, you need to click on this percentage sign here. Just click on it and it's going to give you this, because it's going to be 0.00. So I need to add the decimal places, you see. So let's just add it like 2, for example. So it's okay, and it's going to go across all this percentage, this percentage. So this is the percentage of salary that each person is going to get based on this based on this total that we have from their salary. So this is it, and this is how you can apply the percentage. So whenever you were given, or you were asked to find the percentage, or you want to know the percentage of something, you need to know the specific. When you know the specific, then you divide it by total, and you don't need to put times 100, because times 100 is in the formula, but in Excel, you don't need to put that times 100. All you need to is to come here and click on this percentage sign. When you click on it, it will work for you. Okay, so that's it. So the next thing we are going to, the next formula we are going to talk about is, we are going to talk about rank. We're going to talk about rank formula or rank function. So this rank function is just a function that you use for you to get numbers in a particular order. So to get the number in an order, to make them in an order, the order can be in descending order, that is highest to lowest, or it can be in ascending order. So anyone that you want, you can go ahead and do that. So for us to get that, you need to apply the rank function. So let's say I want to rank these people based on their salary. Let me say I want to rank them based on their salary. Let me call it salary ranking. Salary ranking. For example, I want to call it salary ranking. So I want to know their salary. So I am going to use this rank formula. Rank formula, there is rank EQ now and rank. This rank is the one that all of you will have it in your Excel. But after Excel 2007, that rank, it was updated to rank.eq. But you can have this rank. You can still use this rank. It's still there. You use it. Even now we are going to use it. So I'm not using that rank.eq. They are doing the same thing, but I'm using this one because I know most of you, or all of you, most of the people that are using 2007 downward will see this rank function. So the first thing you need for the rank is to take the specific value that you want to know its rank. That's the first thing you need to apply in the function. So click on this salary, because that is salary, you want to know the rank of that particular. So what number within the ranking order that salary falls within. So that's what it means. So what it means. So you click on the rank, then you put comma. That you are done with that expression. You are done with one. The next thing is for you to get the values upon which you want to know the rank number. All the cell values. All of them, you need to highlight them. Then you click on this first value again. Then you hold your left and shift. Then you highlight the entire number. They are your references, because they are the numbers that you want to know the rank of this specific value out of them. So the next thing we are going to do is like how we did it in percentage. We need to lock this series, because we only want this specific to change, but the series of the numbers, the reference of the number is supposed to remain the same. So that way we are highlighting them all, and we press F4 to lock them all. When we are dragging, we don't want them to change. We want them to remain intact. So the next thing in the function that we need to pass is, do we want it in descending order or in ascending order? In descending order, it comes in highest to lowest. While in ascending order, it will come to lowest to highest. So that's how it's going to be. So how do you want it to be, in descending or in ascending? Let's use the descending order, and we are going to see how it works. So let me put 0. If you want it in descending, you put 0, then you close bracket and you press enter, and this is how it's going to look like. So in descending order, now when you double click, again, it's in currency, sorry, I'll just change it to general. Okay, when I'm sorry, I made a mistake. When I'm highlighting and locking it, I lock even this first one. Sorry, I don't need to lock this. That way it give me it's one, it's one, it's one. So I need to do it this way. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. So when we apply it in descending order, it shows that the highest salary will be the lowest in the ranking. That's how it's going to be. So which one is number one? If we look at number one, I don't know if I can find that number one. I don't know if I can find it. There are many. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, there are formula that we can use to find it, but we are not yet there. So now I can't use the formula to find that number one, but we'll reach that place to find it. Where is number one? I just saw number three. I saw number three. I saw number three, but number one. Okay, I saw number one, 124. So this person with 124 has the highest salary, but in ranking, it has the lowest number because we did highest to lowest. That's what it means in descending order. Highest to lowest. So it's 303. So if we use ascending, for example, now we turn it to ascending, we put one here. We use ascending. So let me put one. It's for ascending. If we press enter here now, okay, sorry, I need to put it here. So if we use it here now, if we go to 303, you see the 303 will be 398, I suppose. So let's go to 303. That means in descending, where is 303? You see? There's the 303 you see is 398 because it's in ascending order, lowest to highest. So that's how it works. So you need to understand what this descending and ascending means. But whenever we are using ranking, normally we use as descending order, not ascending. Normally we use descending. That's why in a class, the person with the highest mark become has the first position, while the one with the lowest mark has the highest maybe position in the class. So that's how it works. So we always use descending order, but sometimes maybe you can be asked to use ascending, but we use descending. Okay. So this is it. That's for the ranking. So the next function we are going to work with is um let's move and work with count. Count, count a, count blank. These are the three functions that we are going to use now, and I'm going to explain them to you. Okay, for the count, what count function did is that you use the count function to count the number of cells that has number in them. The cells that has numbers, only the cells that has numbers that you can count. For example, I'll just give a example to this because most of the time, maybe you are a class teacher or you're a lecturer, you mark exam or test. Some people you put ABS absent for them, some you put the marks. You want to know how many people are absent and how many people you put the marks for them. So you see, you use count formula to count that. It will not count that ABS or any empty cell. It will only count the cells that has numbers. So only those that you recorded, that's what it will count for you. That's what the count formula did. So now, for us to do the count and to know the number of the numbers that we have here, so let's apply the count. Let's say count open bracket. Where is the half salary that we have been using? This is it. So I'm highlighting the entire cells to count it for us. Let's close bracket and press enter. Now it gives us 398 because all the cells has number in them. But if I come here and put nil, you see it gives us 397. If I come here also and put nil, it will give us 396. If I come here and delete it, it gives us 395. Why? Because the count formula will only count the cell that has number in them. Any cell that doesn't have number, it will ignore it, whether it is blank, whether it has a text in it is not a number. If whatever, it will not count it. Even if it is a character, maybe I put asterisk in it, for example, or maybe I put minus, whatever I did, or I deleted, it will not count it for us. So the number of rows with numbers in this particular column are 392. So that's what this count means, and that's what this count function did for you. It counts only the cells that has numbers for you. So the next one is the count A. For the count A, you use count A to count all the cells that are not empty, whether it has number in them, whether it has character in them, whether it has text in them. All the cells that are not empty, it will count them for you. So that's what the count did. All the cells that are not empty. So now, count A, if I say count A, that is count all, and I highlight the entire salary column like we did before, close my bracket and press enter, it's going to give us what? 396. It means out of this 392 that we have, there are other two that they are not empty, but they have something in them, which is this two. You see, we have three and about four, some with characters, because we have this nil, we have this, we have asterisk, we have dash here. It all count them for us. The only thing that it will not count for you is where a cell is empty. Once you have empty cells, count all will not count that for you. But in as much as a cell is not empty, it will still count it for you. The next one that we have is count blank, which is used to only count the blank cells. That is cells that are empty within the range of the data that you have. Only the cells that are empty. So you just need to call count blank, open your bracket, and then highlight everything. Then you close it and you press enter. Then it will count only the blank for you. Okay, let me turn it into currency. So you see, we only have two blank cells, which is it. So if I want to see more, I will delete this one to make it blank. You see, we have three now. So this is how you can go ahead and use all these functions. They were used normally to clean data, to know the datiness of the data, the level of date, how dirty the data is, or how clean a particular data is. This function are used for that. So please take note on this. Count, count blank, and count all. And you can use them to do a lot of things. You can use them to do a lot of things. You can even create a template that will be counting number of entries for you. In Excel, you can do that with count all. You can go ahead and use a lot of things with it. So all these functions that you are seeing is not just what we are using. Please think deeply and think what you can do with them. There are lots and more that you can do with each and every one of them. Okay. So now, let's continue. We are done with these three. Okay. So the next function we are going to use is, we are going to use maximum, minimum, small, large. These are the four functions we are going to use again. So we are going to use this maximum, minimum, small, and large. Maximum is a function that we use to know the highest value, highest number within the range of the data. This salary that we have so far, we want to know who is collecting the highest salary. We want to know that. So we use that maximum for us to know the person that is collecting what? The highest salary. So all you need is to say equals to, what is the highest salary? So the highest salary, we want to know the highest salary within the salary range. So we need to say max, open bracket. Then you click on this. Let me come back to this normal salary. Then we close our bracket. We press enter. The highest salary is 248 at 52. So out of these 398 people that we have, the person that is collecting highest salary, the amount of money that the person is collecting is what? Is 248,852. That's the highest salary. So whenever you were asked to get the highest number, highest value, highest salary, highest this, highest what, this is how you know the highest figure, and this is how it is. So for the minimum, it's just opposite of this. You use it to know the minimum salary or minimum value within the range of the data. So if I want to know the minimum salary here, I want to say equals to min, open bracket, then I click the range of data, close my bracket and press enter, and it will give us the minimum salary. So the minimum salary here is 33,016 naira. That's the minimum salary. So at least it's close to state minimum wage, not federal government. So it's 33,000. So that's the minimum salary. So the highest is 248, while the minimum is what? The minimum is 333 and 16 naira. So this is it. The next thing is the large. So for the large function and small function, large is just like minimum, it's just like maximum. But one thing about the large is you get the large number based on the ranking, based on the ranking. For example, I want to know the second highest number, or I want to know the first highest value or number within the range. So I use large for that. So you get the highest number based on the ranking. That's how it is. That's the only difference between that and maximum. So for example, if I want to get it, I will say large, open bracket, then I highlight the range of the salary, then I put comma, then I put the ranking that I want. For example, I want to know the second highest. I want to know the second highest value. Then I will put 2. Then I will close bracket and press enter. So the second highest value, let me just copy the same format and we get the number. The second highest value is 246,000 salary. That's the second highest person that is collecting the salary. So if I want to know the first highest, like I told you, is like maximum, I can change it to 1. If I press enter, it will give us the same salary that we have here because it's the first highest value. So that's how it works. That's the difference between this large and the maximum. Maximum, you don't get it by ranking. It just gives you the maximum. While a large, you can get it by ranking. I can get the fifth highest salary. The fifth highest salary is 243. I can get the 10th highest salary. I'll put 10. The 10th highest salary is 241. So that's how you will be getting the result based on the ranking. That's how you will be getting the result based on the ranking. So now let's move to the small. Let's put the small. For the small is just to get the lowest based on the ranking. It's the opposite of minimum. Is to get the small based on the ranking. Maybe I want to know the second smallest salary. So we already know the smallest salary, which is 33,000. Maybe I want to know the second smallest salary. So let me put 2 here, close bracket, then I'll put enter. So you just need to put equals to small, open bracket. Sorry, I'm just doing the same so that I will get this. So you see, the minimum is 33 and 16 naira, while this one is 33,283. That's the second smallest number, smallest salary. So that's how you got it. So if you want maybe the 10th smallest salary, 5th smallest salary, 10th smallest salary, whatever, you can go ahead and use it. And this is how you get that using small function. And this is it. Okay. So that's for the large and small. So the next formula that we're going to work with, we're going to talk about if formula. Okay, so let's talk about if formula. So for the if formula is a conditional formula, it's a conditional statement that takes different parameters in it. You need to give it a condition first, and you need to give the value. If the condition is true, you also need to give the value where the condition is false. So that's one thing about this formula. The formula is like, okay, I have a criteria that once that criteria is true, I want to see something. And if that criteria is not true, I want to see something. That's how it is. So that's how it is. So for example, now, um, what I'm going to say, okay, in this criteria, okay, before we continue, for this criteria, there are a lot of things that you need to, we need to put in this. There are lots of things that we need to learn in this. Um, there are operators that we are using that we used for this if formula. So I want you to learn about these operators. So these operators are just the comparison operators, which you all know them. I'm going to put them here, so don't worry. Okay, I'm not deleting this. Okay, I'm adding them here. So let me add another column here. So we have this greater than, we have less than, we have equal sign, we have greater than or equals to, we have less than or equals to. This is what we have. You all know them, I believe. So these are the operators, comparison operators that we have in the criteria when you are creating the criteria for the if this if formula or if function. So please take note on that. We are going to use them all. So now you see, when we want to apply this if formula, I want us to apply it step by step so that you will understand it all. So I think let me put equal sign supposed to be the first. I want to use it first before greater than and equals to. But we are not going to use all. We are not going to use, let's say, all. I just want to show you how it works. So let's say now I want to create a condition based on this salary. Based on this salary, I want to create condition. This condition is going to be if the person's salary, that is the salary of the person, is above 50,000. Let's say it's greater than 50,000. If it's greater than 50,000. If it is greater than 50,000, we want to see, we want it to say not qualified for bonus. But if it is less than 50,000, we'll say qualified for bonus. Maybe we want to give a bonus or we want to give end of the year bonus or giveaway. So that's what we want to know. So we need to create this condition so that people will see that whenever this is true, is going to be this. If it is not true, is going to be this. That's how it is, and that's what we are going to do. Okay, so let's understand this. So I said equals to, I'm writing the function place so that you understand. So I'm going to call it status of, do we call it bonus? Okay, let's say status of bonus. Okay, let's call it status of bonus. So the condition is if the salary equals to if open bracket. So the criteria that we want is if this particular salary of the person is less than 50,000. That is 50,123 is less than 50,000. That's the criteria. That's what we want. Once it is less than 50,000. So take note. In this comparison operator, when you say less than, the number you called is not included. So please, you should take note on this. Excluding the number that you called. When I say less than 50,000, 50 is not less than 50,000. When I say greater than 50,000, 50,000 is not greater than 50,000. So whenever you say greater than, that number that you call is excluded, whatever you want to do. Unless maybe you say greater than or equal to, or you say less than or equal to. So that's how it is. So you should take note on that. So now, I say when it is less than 50,000, we can say less than or equals to 50,000. I think we can say that. So I can add equals to inside here. So I can say equals to 50,000. Then I will say comma. I'm done with the criteria. This is the condition that I want. Once this condition is true, is less than or equals to 50,000. Please take note. If this condition is true, that is the salary is less than or equals to 50,000, I want it to say qualified for bonus. That means the reason why I put this quotation inside this formula is because I'm passing a string. It's because I'm passing what? I'm passing a string data type. I'm passing a character. That's why I did this. I put it inside double quote. Whenever you are passing a string data type or a character or a qualitative data in a formula, you need to put it inside double quote. But if, for example, I just want to add that 30, maybe I want to give them 50,000 additional bonus or something like that. All I need to maybe is just to put 30,000. 50,000. I don't need to put the double quote to say qualified for bonus or something like that. Please understand this. Then I'll put comma. So this is the value if this condition is true, I'm going to see qualified for bonus. But I put comma, if this condition is false, I'm going to see not qualified for bonus. Then I'll close it, then I'll put this. So this is how it works. So now I'll press enter and it gave us not qualified for bonus because the person has 200,000, which is above 50. So now I can double click, just go ahead and double click. So you go ahead, you see there are few people that are qualified for it. You see it. There are few people, but most of them, they are not qualified for the bonus because they have more than that. So you see less than or equals to 50. You see all this is how it is, and it's going to give us that. So these are the people that are qualified for the bonus and the people that are not qualified for the bonus. So this is how you go ahead and use this. So whenever you are using this condition, understand what I said. When you are using it with your criteria, maybe is character or qualitative data, please make sure you use double quote. Please, when you are passing a numerical data type, please make sure you don't put it inside double quote. So I just want to use another formula here to convert this mail into figures or into number so that you see how you can do that. For example, I can say equals to if open bracket that is this particular column is equals to mail. I'm writing it exactly the way it is. If it is male, I want it to be 1. Otherwise, I want it to be 2. That is if it is female. So if I press enter, it will turn it to 1. Now, if I double click, you see wherever we have female, we will have 2. Wherever we have males, we will have 1. That's how it's going to go across all the data. So this is it, and this is how you apply this if formula. This if formula, you can use it and to create a nested if inside it, to put a lot of function in it, to do other things with that. But I think we'll apply that later, but let's continue with it now. So the next thing after if is we are going to talk about, after this if, let's talk about if and if O. Okay. So let's talk about this if and if O. Oh, I think before this if and if O. Okay, let's talk about this if and if O. Before the nested if, I think, yeah. So this if and if O, they're all conditional formula. They're all conditional formula that for the if and, you are creating a condition or a criteria, 2 or more criteria, that the criteria must be true for you to have the true value. So when we apply this one, you see we only have one criteria, that is this one, less than or equals to 50,000. That's all what we have. E2 must be less than or equals to 50,000. That's the only criteria we created. But when we use if and, it must be 2 or more criteria. That means this E2 is something and we put another criteria for something to be something. So that's what this if and is all about. So it must be true for you to have this, to have the result for the if and. Okay, so I'm going to give you the example. I'm going to give example of that. I'm not deleting this example, but let me create a similar one here so that we'll see what will happen. So now here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to say if open bracket, for you to use the and, you need to say and. So you need to pass 2 criteria. Let's say 2 or more criteria, but I'm passing 2 criteria. And these 2 criteria that I'm going to pass, what I'm going to say is that the salary of the person that that will qualify for the bonus must be less than or equals to 50,000. And also the person must be female in gender. Please understand 2 conditions. So you must have these 2 conditions for you to qualify for the bonus. You must be a female and you must earn less than 50,000 salary. So if you are not qualified for this, maybe you are earning less than 50,000, but you are a male, or you are a female, but you are earning more than 50,000. You are not qualified for the bonus. So this is what this if and is all about. So these 2 criteria must be true for you to have the person whether qualified or not qualified. So that's why this and comes in. So it must be true. Okay. So now what I'm going to say is I'm going to say this gender of the person, that is for the where gender data is, must be equals to male. The way I put that male, if you can recall, must be male, comma, and this salary must be less than or equals to, let's put 100,000 now. 100,000. Or let's put 50 since we use 50,000. Then we close the bracket and we put comma. Now we are done with this condition of and. That's why I put this comma, because this close bracket that I put is for this and that we put. This one that we put before this C2. So this is how it is. We are done with this condition. So we put two criteria. You must be a female and you must be earning less than 50,000 for you to be qualified for the bonus. Okay, so I put comma. So the next thing I'm going to put the value if it is true, which we have it already. If this condition is true, we wanted to see qualified for what? Bonus. Otherwise, we want it to be not qualified for bonus. We close our bracket, then we close our quotation, we close our bracket, and we press enter, and this is it. So now, for us to have someone who is qualified, look at it. This one is qualified for, okay, I said female, not male. Sorry. It's supposed to be female. Sorry. What I'm saying is, I was saying female, but I put males. Okay, sorry, because when I saw this one, I saw male. So let's go and see if we can have one female that, okay, look at it. She's female and she's earning 35,000. So that way she's qualified for what? For the bonus. So let's scroll down again and see if we can have another female. Okay, look at another one. Okay, she's female and she's earning 35,000 also. She's qualified for the bonus. Look at another one. She's female, she's earning 36,000, and that way she's qualified for the bonus. So this is how you filter this criteria and how you put this conditional formula to do the work for you. You don't need to waste your time going across all this. All you need to is to write the function and the formula will do it for you. So this is what this if and did for you. Okay. So let's go to the if O. So we have the if O. If O, we use it, we give two criteria now. I'm just doing it here. We have these two criteria for the if O. Not all these two must be true. Either of them, if it is true, it will give us the result. So what it means is that whether you are a female, once you are a female, whether you are taking less than 50,000 uh or equals to 50,000, once you are qualified for these two, once you have either of these two criteria, you are qualified for bonus. So it means all the females, whether they are earning more than 50,000 or less than 50,000, in as much as they are females, they are qualified for the bonus. And also all the people that are earning less than 50,000, whether they are females or males, in as much they are earning less than 50,000, they are qualified for the bonus. That's what this O did for you. So it's just optional. All the criteria that you put, once one of the criteria is true, is going to give you the result of this. So I'm just changing this and to O. I'm just writing O. So I just change it to O. When I press enter, now I do it like this. I just drag it. You see, this person qualified. You see, she's qualified for the bonus not because her salary is less than or equals to 50,000. It's because she's a female. So you see someone, let me come and because definitely we'll have a male that qualified. Look at this. This is a male, but he is qualified for the bonus because he's earning 44,000. So this is what this O did for you. So please understand this O and also understand this and O are all logical operators that you can use. They will do this for you. It's either all the conditions are okay, all the conditions are true, or either of the condition or criteria that you gave are true. It will still give you the result that you want. So this is what this is all about. Okay. So now for the if nested that I said, if nested is just another if. I'm not going to write if nested as a formula that we used. Maybe all that part of the formula that, or part of the H1 formula that we're going to use. I'm not writing it. I'm not writing that if nested. So what I'm going to do is I'm just creating this if nested here. I'm just creating this if nested here. So for the if nested, it's just for you to create if inside if. That is to put a different if condition. So for example, here we have BSc, MSc, diploma, SSc, HND, whatever. So I'm just going to create if nested here so that for the PhD, for example, I want it to be 1. For the MSc, I want it to be 2. For the BSc, I want it to be 3. So that way, I just want to show you what if nested is all about. Then we continue from there. So I'm going to say equal to if this is equals to BSc. You need to write it exactly the way it is. I want it to be 1, comma. I'm going to say again, if again this N2 again is equals to, okay, first of all, I say PhD, but let's just use the BSc and MSc. Just don't worry. I'm just for the purpose of you seeing it so that you'll understand how it works. But let me change this to MSc. But definitely we have PhD. We have PhD, but let me put MSc. So let's put MSc. This one I will put BSc 2. If again N2 is equals to diploma, comma, I want it to be 3. So all these numerical values that I'm putting, I don't need to put them that double quote because they are numeric. So comma, so I can put another if N2 again, you see this N2 is equals to maybe SSCE, you see. Okay, I need to put it inside double quote SSCE, comma, I want it to be 4. So this is the if nested. Whenever you want to create if nested on all the column, what this means is that any of these criteria that appears in this particular cell, it will take one of the condition that you put. It will take one of the result that you give it here. So it means if I change this one from PSC to something, it will definitely change the number for me automatically. That's what this if nested means. So now you are done with whatever you want to put. So you need to close the number of open bracket that you opened. That's how what you are going to close. So I open, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of them. So I'm closing 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are closing 4. Press enter. You see it gave us 2 because it's BSc. You just drag it across. So now if I change this to diploma, it gave us 3. If I change this to MSc, it gave us 1. If I change it to SSCE, it gave us 4. That's how it's continued. That's how it will keep running because we put if nested there, whatever value that we have in the cell, it will do the work for us. So this is what this if nested is, and it's very, very powerful formula. We'll go ahead and practice it. We'll go ahead and use it in many, many places. You can use this function. So we are going to work to talk about again. We are going to talk about sum products. That's the formula we are going to talk about. The function we are going to talk about. Okay, I'm sorry, my network just checked. So let's continue. You can see my screen, let me know. Okay, so again, we are going to talk about sum product. So sum product is just a way for you to get a total by getting the multiplication of value from the unit, value and unit maybe, and get the total of them together. Let me explain this again for you. It's just apply for the product normally. So let's say I have, or we have, um, um, what can I say? Let's say, for example, this salary that we have, this salary of people that we have, for example, this salary that we have, let's say is a particular price for a product. Let's say it's a price for a product. And let's say this, I want to bring this here. Let me do something. I'm bringing this here because we want to apply this sum product now here. Okay. Let's say this is unit, total units sold. So let's say this is the product price, and this is the total units sold. So we want to say this times this will give us the total. You know that. So for example, this time this will give us maybe 800,000, you know, that how it will give us. And after we got all that, maybe across all this, it's okay. Let me show you that because this some product we didn't understand. Okay, I'm just doing this. So this is it. So let me do something like this to show you something. So I want to know the total of all this that we got. That is the total of what we sold, all this. So I'm going to say go to sum, open bracket. I'm summing everything. So you see, this is the total. You see, this is the total 120 million. This is the total. Okay. So this is the way that you need to do it, the traditional way of doing this. To multiply this and this to give you this, and then you sum it to get the total revenue you generated. So when some product came, some products said, no, you don't need to do that at all. All you need to is highlight all this. Some product will do all this for you and give you all this, will give you the total. Just you don't need to go ahead and start multiplying this and that. That was some product did. So let's apply it and see. Just put some product, call it, that's the name of it. When you say some product, all you need to is highlight the first column, comma. When you highlight the first column, come back and highlight the second one. You see, this is the second one. Highlight it, just close it and press enter. That's all. You see, it gives us the same. So the same procedure we followed, which is the longest way, the long road that we followed, gave us this, and this shortcut gave us this. So which one do you prefer to use whenever you want to get this result? So normally it's some product with the shortcut and the easiest one to get the total of the revenue generator. So this is how short some product works, and this is how you can use some product. Okay, so let's continue. We are done with some products, and I believe you understand what it is. So now what we are going to talk about again, we need to talk about some if. Let's talk about some if and some ifs. So let's talk about some if and some ifs. So for the sum if, you want to sum a number based on criteria. That's what this sum is all about. You want to sum numbers based on a particular criteria. You have a criteria that you want to sum them based on it. So let me do something now. I'm deleting all these because they are of no use. We don't need them. So I'm all deleting them because for the purpose of all this, that's how we will keep working. So I'm deleting what we don't want or what we are using, what we don't want to use. So I'm deleting all this. So let's say now for this sum if, I say we are summing based on a particular criteria. Let's say I want to know, or we want to know, the total number of salary paid to indigent of Zamfara State. That's what we want to know. So understand what I just said. Total number of salary paid to the people of Zamfara. We have state of the people, and we also have their salary. So we want to know those that are from Zamfara, what is the total number of salary we are paying them? So that's what this sum if will help you to do. So let's get the total number of the salary of the Zamfara State people. So you are going to say equals to sum if open bracket. So first of all, you take the range. You take the range. The range, that is the range of the criteria that you want. So it will be the range of the state. So this is the range of the state. I'm taking the range of the state, comma. So that's the range of the state. I'm coming up here. So the next thing is I'm giving the criteria. So what is the criteria that I'm looking for in this range? I'm looking for Zamfara. So I'm looking for Zamfara. So I'm going to say Zamfara. That's the criteria. I'm writing the name exactly the way it is there, Zamfara, inside double quote. So where is the range? The sum range that I want it to be. So this is the sum range. So I'm going to click this because that's where the range is, the salary. So I'm highlighting it. Then I'm closing the bracket. Then I'm pressing enter and it will give us the total salary. So this is the total salary. Sorry, I'm just putting the same this and it gave us 8,931,154. So this is the total salary we are paying to the people of Zamfara State. I can change Zamfara here and put Borno and press enter. So Borno people are collecting 1 million. The total salary I'm paying to the people of Borno State. So this is a formula that you need to understand. You can do a lot with it also. So I can change it to any state that I want, Bauchi, Jigawa, and the rest, so that I can see the total number of amount of money allocated to that particular people from that particular state. So this is what this sum if did for you. So for the sum ifs is like nested if. It takes more than one criteria. Now, I got it from the people of Zamfara. Let me turn it to Zamfara. But even from Zamfara, there are people from Gusau, different LGS. So I want to know, what are the people from Zamfara and under Gusau LGA? What is the total salary that they are collecting? So that where some ifs come in. So I'm going to say some ifs. So it's going to take two criteria. You have to be from Zamfara and you have to be from Gusau LG. So we want to know this total salary we are paying to the people that are from Zamfara and they are also from Gusau LG. So now you need to take this sum range first. So this is the sum range. I'm highlighting it all, comma. And after the sum range, you need to take what? The criteria range one, which is state. So I need to highlight the state, comma. What is the criteria here I'm looking for is Zamfara. I'm taking Zamfara, comma. What am I looking for the criteria 2 range? So criteria 2 range is LGA. So I'm going to put this. So I'm going to say what LGA I'm looking for Gusau. Okay. So if I have another criteria, I will take it. Maybe I want to add criteria for the qualification. So I want people that are from Zamfara, from Gusau, and they have BSc. So I will take another criteria of BSc here, comma, then I'll put BSc. BSc. Then I'll close it and I'll press enter. So I put a lot of criteria here to filter the salary we are paying to these people. So they are from Zamfara and also they are from Gusau and also they have BSc. So I want to know the total salary I'm paying to people with such criteria. So this is it. If I want, I will turn it to SSCE. SSCE, you see, I'm paying only 897,000 out of this 893, 91, 931 million to those that with SSC. So I can get it with those with SSC, those with MSc, those with BSc, those with whatever, and that's how it's going to look like. So this is where how you can use this sum if and also some ifs, some if and some ifs. Okay, so let's continue. We are going to use count if and count ifs. So for the count if and count ifs, it's like some if and some ifs, but here we use them for counting. We use them to count. Now let's say I want to count for the count if I want to count based on criteria. So I want to count people that are number of people that are from Zamfara based on this data that we have. That for the count if. So I'm going to say equals to count if open bracket. Where is the range? This is the range for the state, comma, the criteria is Zamfara. I'll just write Zamfara. Then I'll close bracket and press enter. So it will count the number of people from Zamfara. This is it. You see, it gives us 69. If I want to know from how many people we have from Borno, so I will say Borno, press enter, it gives us 7. How many people we have from Kano? You see, it gives us 35. How many people we have from Bauchi? It gives us 9. So you see, count if will count based on the criteria that we give. It will keep counting for us to know the number, the actual number of people that we have, or the actual number of criteria that we have within the range of the data. We want to know how many number of BSc people we have. I can change the criteria. Maybe I'll come here and say count if open bracket, then I'll highlight this, comma, then I will say BSc, close the bracket, press enter. We have 220 BSc holders. You see, these are the BSc holders that we have in the data, in this particular people that registered for this webinar. So this is how you know all this using count if. For the count ifs, like I said, it's like nested if. So you give it more than one criteria. Let's say I want to know people that comes from Zamfara and also they have BSc. So that's what I want to know. So they are from Zamfara and they are BSc. So I'm going to use count ifs for that. So I'm going to say equals to count ifs open bracket. So I'm going to select the first criteria range is state, which is Zamfara. They need to come from Zamfara. The second criteria range is the what? Qualification, because they need to have what? BSc, comma, I will highlight it, then I will put BSc, I will close it and close bracket, then this. So we have 40 people that comes from Zamfara, which they have all of them, 40, out of them, 40 have BSc. So let's say, let me know the total number is 69 already. So the count is 69, but out of this 69, the one with BSc are 40. So that's what this data is telling us. So this is what this count ifs did for you. Whenever you want to count something based on criteria, you can go ahead and do that. So let's say we want to count, for the count if formula, we want to know the number of males. So let's say this, we highlight the gender, number of male, we just close bracket. You see, this is the number of males, 323. For the females, we can just say count if, open bracket, where is the range of the gender, highlight it, comma, we put female, close our double quote, close bracket. You see, we have 75 females and we have 323 males, which the total will give us some, if you want to get the total, will give us 398, and that's the total number of people that we have. So you see, within short period of time, we just have this, we know the number of this, we know the number of that within this formula. Okay. So another formula we are going to use is um yeah, another formula we are going to use now, we are going to use upper, lower, proper functions. These are the like textual functions. Yeah, we are used for text. You use them to edit your text or to customize your text. For example, now let me show you this. You see, here in this, some people write their names in capital letter, some people in small letter, some people in proper way. So let's say, for example, for the upper, let me come and do it here. So we have upper, lower, and proper. So let me put it upper, lower, and proper. So if I want to change the names of people now to uppercase, maybe that's how we want the data to be in uppercase, that is in capital letter. All we need to is to put equals to upper, that's the name of the function. Just click on the cell where the data is, close your bracket and press enter. The entire name will turn to what? Will turn to uppercase. So there is one thing that I want to show you in all what we have been doing. Whenever you apply formula and you want to copy and paste the exact data into something, you need to paste special, because if I delete this one, for example, you see it's going to delete the upper formula that we just applied. So what you need to is to right click and click on paste special, click on values, then you select OK, and then it will paste the same data here. It will override it without touching what you have here. So I just need to tell you that, so that when you are doing all this, when you touch the uh, where the data is, it will not affect your formula. So you need to know that. So for the lower, we need to say lower, open bracket, just click where the data is, close your bracket, press enter. It will turn everything to lowercase, double click, and it will going to turn everything to lowercase. For the proper, all you need is to make the first letter to capital. That was the proper is. Just click here. The first letter of every after every space is going to be capital. Then this is how the proper is. So even if you put upper, it's going to turn it into this, and this is what this upper, lower, and proper did for you. So the next thing we are going to look for is we are going to look for, let's talk about min ifs, and max ifs. These are the two functions that we use. If you can recall, we did minimum and maximum. Minimum gives us the maximum value within the data, while the minimum value within the data, while maximum gives us the maximum value within the data. That's what they did. So we have minimum ifs and maximum ifs. That means I want to know the maximum value, but based on a particular criteria. For example, let's say based on this salary, I want to know the maximum salary of people that are from Zamfara State. So that's what it means. Only the people that are from Zamfara State, I want to know their maximum value. So if you see the maximum, it's not the maximum of the entire people, it's only for the people from Zamfara, or people from Borno, or people from any other state. So that's what this max if and ifs and min ifs did for you. So let's apply them and see what it works, or how we can use them. So you can just say max ifs open bracket. Where is the max range? That is where the range that you want to take, where it is the max range that you want. So let's just say this. That is the max range. Sorry, I didn't hold my control shift. Okay, comma. So the criteria range one that we are looking for this. That is Zamfara. That is for the state. So I'm clicking on the state. Sorry, sorry. I'm wait. Ma. Mm-mm. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe it's even my max ifs. Okay. Comma. Okay, criteria range, this is it. So I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to that column that I'm in. It's just not touching the criteria range. So I just click on the criteria range. What range I'm looking for, I just say Zamfara. So let's just put Zamfara. So if I have another range that another criteria that I want to take, maybe I want it from maybe males or females, you can add another criteria. Maybe I can come under gender, comma, then I'll put for males. So you see, it will give us the maximum salary of males gender that are from Zamfara State. This is what this criteria will give us. This is what this function will do for us. So when you press enter, any salary that you see, this salary, let me just make it the salary. This 240,209 is the maximum salary of people that are that male's gender that comes from Zamfara State. So that's how it is. So if you like, you can go ahead and add another criteria. Maybe those that are collecting BSc or those that are collecting MSc or something like that. This is also something you can do with this max ifs. So for the min ifs, you can use min ifs and say min ifs, open bracket, you select the range where you want to get the minimum, comma. The first criteria, let's say we want to know those that comes from, uh, let's say Edo State. So I'll say Edo State, comma, that is, and also those that are, let's say females in gender, let's say female, the maximum salary of those that come from Edo State and they are female in gender. So close bracket, press enter. The salary is what? It's also 200. Okay, where is the salary? Okay, sorry. Why did I apply it? I didn't even see it. Okay, maybe I didn't put the Edo State the way it's up, they write it. I just saw one Edo is somewhere here. Maybe that's not how they write the Edo State because I saw one Edo State here. I made mistake in the Edo. That why we got 0. I saw one Edo State. Okay, sorry. Let me just do this. Okay, this is it. Okay, I'm copying this the same the way it is. So let's just go back to our data here. So I'm copying this, I'm pasting it the way it is. So I'm pressing enter. Okay, yeah, here it is. So this is the maximum salary of the person or any female or of the female's gender that comes from Edo State, which is 224,979. So this is how we use this. This is the minimum. Yeah, we are talking about minimum, not maximum. This is the minimum salary of this. So this is how we use this min ifs in that. So the next thing we are going to use this text split function and concatenate function. So these are the two functions we are going to use, 29 and 30. So we are almost done. Okay, so for this text split is like text to column. Some of you knows text to column. I normally teach people always text to column because text to column is there in all the version of Excel, while text split is not there at all. Not every version of Excel has text split. So text split is the function that you use to split the text for you. You want it to split. For example, now I have full name. I want to change it into, let me delete all this. I want to change it into first name, surname, other name. That's how I want to split it. I wanted to split it into this first name, surname, other name. I want to split all this into that. So we use text split for that. All I need to is to come here and put text split, open bracket, you click on the text, comma. It will ask you for the delimiter. That means what separate the text that you want to split. What is the separator of the text? Some text, it can be underscore. Some text, it can be space. Some text, it can be dash. Some text, it can be anything. It can be forward slash, backward slash, whatever. Please make sure you put the delimiter the way it is. So if it is any delimiter that separates the text that you want to split, you need to put double quote and you put the delimiter. For this case that we are using is a space. So I'm putting double quote and put space inside it and close it. That's all what we are going to do. Then you close your bracket, you press enter, it will do this. Okay, sorry. The delimiter is this, sorry. No, I don't want that. Comma, okay, no value, space. What's wrong? What did it mean? Split range is in blank. Okay, it's going to split up to this. So thereby, okay, the reason why it gives us the arrow is because the split is going to override up to here. So let me just add another column here. Okay, so that the split will work. That way when I add a column, it split is not going to override a text here. That way it didn't work, so we need to do it. We need to add additional column for it here to do the work for us. So let me just double click here. Let's add the formula here. Just double click, or you just drag it down, so it's going to do the same for you here. So if there is another split where there is another space here, it will not apply. You need to add another space for it to have a space to do it like that, because it don't override. You can't override anything on that. And the reason why we have this space is because we have extra space, and don't worry about that. So that for the split is it helps you to what, to split the text across the number of cells that you want. So the other formula that we need to work with is the concatenate formula. So for the concatenate function is used to merge these cells together. That is to merge two or more cells together to amalgamate them or to put them together. That's the concatenate function. So to apply to the concatenate function, you need to say concatenate. So the updated formula is concat. But those that are using 2007 and earlier version of Excel, you can use concatenate. And even now, concatenate is working. You can use concatenate or you can use concat. Anyone you want to use, go ahead and use it. I'm using concatenate. Then you click on the text that you want to put together, comma. You need to put the text, all the cells that you want to put together, you need to do that. So if you want to put space in between them, you need to add space. If you don't, you allow it. But I just want to show you something. So I'm clicking this one again. I'll put comma. I'm clicking this one. I'm pressing enter. By default, it's going to put all these names together for us, but without space. That means in our concatenate formula, we didn't put the space. So if you want to put the space, we need to come here after each of them. Then you put space, you close your bracket. You come to this one also, you put comma, you put space inside double quote and do it. For the last one, you don't need to put space because we don't want any space after the text. So you press enter. So it is going to put all the text together for you like this, and you double click here, is going to do it here like this. So this is how you apply the concatenate function. So that's it. Okay, so the next function after this concatenate, we are going to use trim. Trim. Okay, this is supposed to be concatenate text split. Sorry. Okay, so we are going to talk about trim. Trim function is used to remove extra spaces. But sorry, before this trim function, let's talk about len before trim, because I want to show you something before this. Let's talk about len. Len function is used to get the length, is like length. That's the name of it. To know the number of characters that you have within a particular cell. So the name of the function is just len. All you need to say equals to len open bracket, click on the text, close bracket, it will give you the total number of characters in the cell. So automatically it gives us what? It gives us 18. We have 18 number. That's what we have. Okay, so I'll show you something. Okay. So now the next function we are going to use is trim. Trim is a function that will remove extra spaces for us in a cell. So any space that we don't need here, trim will just remove that space for us when we apply the trim. So let me say trim, open bracket, click on the text, close bracket, and press enter. So it will trim the text. Any space that is extra, it will remove the space for us. Let's see whether the trim works or not. I'm going to apply the length again. So I'm going to say length, open bracket, click here, close bracket, and press enter. You see, this name before trim, it has 18 characters, but after trim, it had was 17 characters. That means there is extra space in this. Look at it. There is extra space after this particular name, which this trim remove for us. Now, if you click here, we don't have that space. Trim remove this space. That's why we have 17 instead of what? Instead of 18. Look at it. Here also we have 18, we have 17. While here we have 21 exactly, and we still have 21. That's how it goes across. And this extra spaces will reduce the number of the spaces within the data and will reduce the number or the large file or the size of the file. It will remove it for you when you remove all these extra spaces. And please understand this trim function. A lot of during interview, you'll be asked this particular question of trimming and the rest. So you need to know how to apply this trim function. So the next function we are going to work with is left, right, and mid. So left, right, and mid are functions that we use to extract value from the right angle, from the mid angle, from the left angle. That's what it did. So let me just put right, left, right, and mid. So we need to extract numbers, or we need to extract values based on from the angle that we want to extract the values. For example, I want to extract 3 values from the left-hand side of each cell, data of the cell. I want to extract three values. So all you need to say is you need to say equals to left open bracket, you click on the text, comma, number of characters that you want to remove from the left hand side, let's say 3. I'll close bracket and press enter. You see it will remove 3 characters from each name that we have. So I can do it like they look at it. It removed three characters. So maybe I want to create what can I say? Maybe I want to create ID number, or I want to create ID something, or I want to create initials. All I need is to apply this left function to remove three characters from each name and do whatever I want to do with that. You can do it from state, you can do it from any number, even if it's a number or text, you can go ahead and do that. So you can remove any number that you want. So for the right answer, let's say I want to remove two characters from the right answer. I just want to say right, click on the text, comma, I want to say 2, then you press enter. So it will remove 2. Why? Because we have a space. So it removes that space for us. That space is still there for us. So that's why we are seeing only A with space for this particular name. You see, but those will have 2, but those with extra space will have one character that we remove from there. So for the mid will ask you to put the starting point and the number of character that you want to remove. That means from which character you want to start extracting the numbers. That's what this mid will ask you. So for the mid, I'm going to say mid. I will click on the text. So it will ask me that from which number I want to start removing the character. Let's say I want to start from third character. So from third, how many characters I want to remove from that third character? Let's say I want to remove 3 again. So close bracket, press enter. You see Ibrahim. So R is the third character. That one is start from R. How many character I want to remove is 3, so it comes R, A, H. So it remove the third character, and this is how we have the third character from each particular name. So this is what this mid, right, left did for you. Okay, so the next function that we are going to use is we need to use rand and rand between. Rand and rand between. So for the rand and rand between, they are the function we use to create random numbers. Rand between is used to create random figure or random value in Excel, and normally it's going to give you in decimal places. That's what the rand did for you. All you need is to say equals to rand open and close bracket. You don't need to put any parameters inside the bracket. Press enter, it will just give you random number. That's how all it will give you. Whenever you refresh, when you click your F4, when you click function, whenever you click somewhere in your data, for example, I click this and press, you see, this will keep changing. This automatic number will keep changing. You see, whenever you click something is going to change. I know if I click, okay, sorry. Uh, no, yeah, sorry, no, it is, it's okay. The shortcut is not working. I know when I press the shortcut, it will work. But it's okay. When you click somewhere in your data, whenever you did something in Excel, it will automatically change. So these non-figures will just keep changing. The random figures will keep coming up, will keep coming up. If you want to retain them, you need to copy them and paste special for you to retain them. That's what RAND did for you. For the RAND between, the difference between RAND and RAND between is that this RAND between, you can give from the values that you want, maybe the starting point of the value that you want to the end point of the value that you want. Maybe you want to create random numbers or random figures or random salary for people. All you need to is, let me say, I want to create even the salary that what I used to create that. I want to create random salary for people. All these people, I want to use the data. So I want to say, for example, comma, I want to say rand between. So I will say 33,000, comma, to 250,000. I want it to create a random salary for me based on this. So when I press enter, it will create a random salary. Sorry, what's wrong? Okay, it's saying it's a text, so we need to turn it to number. Sorry. Oh, I don't know. Sorry. Let me just delete all this. We have created so many. So I'm going to say run between 33 to 250. Okay, so here it is. This is the value. It just give us this. So if you want, let's just bring that same currency. Okay, let me do it for you. Just go to format, go to currency, click here. Just come here. You will see Hausa. You see Hausa, Igbo. All these are the sign of Naira, Kanuri, whatever. So you select anyone. It just put the sign of Naira for you, Pulani. So just go ahead, press OK. Remove the decimal places. You see, I just create the salary for them. That's how I create the salary. So whenever I click something, you see, it will keep changing. It will keep changing. It will keep changing. You see, that's the salary. If I want to return this salary to use the data, just copy. When you copy, come to the top of the data, right click and just press special the way I show you. Go to values, click OK. So now even if I click anywhere, it will not change, it will remain here. Then I will go ahead and work with the data. So that's how you will create your data. That's how you can create the data. Even if I didn't, that way I saw maybe some of you asking, I give them the file, you can create your own file and do the analysis based on this when you understand this rand and rand between. Okay. So the next thing we are going to talk about, that is, we are close to finish. Okay, we are 37. Thank God. Okay, so we are going to talk about this function that has to do with is number, is text, is even, they are all the same functions, but I will do them just for you, is odd. So is number, is text, is even, is odd. There are many of them, is blank, is what, is that. Maybe we'll do them tomorrow, but let's just stop here so that it's something that we're going to stop. So I'm deleting all this. I'm sorry. I don't need them all. I'm deleting this. Okay, sorry. Let me delete this. Yeah, I just want to, yeah. Okay, so let's just apply all this. Is number, is text, is whatever. So this is it. Is number, is text, is even, is odd. All these are function, and I'll tell you what you can do with these functions. So for the is number function, whenever you have a data in Excel in a particular cell, you want to know what type of data are you using, or what type of data is that particular data. You used this is number to know that. So if you say it's number, the answer will be true or false. That's how the answer will come to. It's either true or false. All these functions will give you the answer true or false, but you can use them in if function. If you are good in that, you can match them together, you can concatenate them together and do a lot of things with it. So now let's apply its number. Let's say equals to its number, open bracket. Let me click on this gender and press enter. Let's close it and press enter. It will give us false. Why? Because this male is not a number. So if I drag it across all this, it will give us false, 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 because it's not a number. It's not a number. But if I said equals to is text and I click here, or I click the gender and I close bracket, it will stay true because what is a text. It will say true, true. But if I come here and I put two, let me put two here. You see, its number is true now, while its text is false because yes, this is a number, but it's not a text. So this is what these functions will help you do. There are many things you can do in this function because we can put it inside if formula. That means if this is number, that means it's a true is number. We want it to give us something. If it is not a number, we want it to give us something. It's something that you can do, but I don't want to use that so that I will not confuse you. Just know this function exists and know that you can use this particular function. So for the even and odd, even we know there are numbers that we can divide into two with a remainder, while odd we cannot divide them. Or if we divide them, that we will have a what? We'll have a remainder. So that is will what we'll have a that why we have that function of modulus and whatever. We'll talk about that. It's part of the function that we'll work on that will give us the remainder. So for the odd, it will give you yes or no. That's the it's just a boolean function. It just return true or false for you. It's just a boolean. So that's what boolean data type that will return to you. So I'm going to say equals to this particular salary. I'm going to say is even, then I will click this and close bracket. You see, it say it false. Why? Because if we divide it into two, we'll have a reminder. But this one that is say 199,840 is say true, is a even. If we divide it into two, we will not have a reminder. It will give us the same thing that we want. This one also is even. So all of them, if it is even, it will say true. If it is not even, it will say false. So for this odd, is the number we cannot divide into two. Or it's a number that if we divide it into two, we'll have a remainder. So when we say it's odd, when I click on it and close bracket, you see, so wherever it is false in even, then it's going to be true in odd. And that's what this function will do for you. Okay. So now we are at this. So I think let's talk about is blank. Don't worry. I don't want tomorrow to take this time. We have is blank. Is blank is part of the functions. So let's have this is blank also. So is blank also is like is another thing that it will ask you if it is blank. It will say yes, the cell is blank. If it is not blank, it will say it's not blank. So let's add this one and we'll stop at this is blank. So let's say equals to is blank. You see, If I click here and close bracket, it will say false is not blank. The cell is not blank. But if I put this, it will say yes, true is blank. So that way, if I want to create maybe a criteria or a function with if formula, you can go ahead and put this is blank. If this cell is blank, please tell the user that you cannot leave the cell blank or something like that. It's awesome when you understand how to use all these functions. So don't just say they are just function like that. No, you can only appreciate this function when you put them inside what? In Okay, I'm sorry, my network check again. So let's continue. We are about to finish. Don't worry. I'm going to show you how you can use this is blank, is text, is whatever, but let's use is blank for you. You'll enjoy it more. So it's going to be if open bracket, this particular cell is blank, comma, tell the user you can't leave this blank, comma. If it is, that means if it is false, that means it's not blank, that is false. Then I just want it to be blank. I don't want to see anything. So you see, automatically it's telling the user you can leave this cell blank. So if it is not blank already, it will just leave it also. But if I delete anything here, it will tell you you can't leave this cell blank. Also, let me show you something for this is number and is text. Let me show you one thing. Let me show you this. You can create all some things in here. So for example, now here, I will say if open bracket, this particular cell is text, comma, tell the user you cannot. Okay, if it is text, is true, is a text. I'm going to leave it blank. If it is not a text, that is something else. I want to say, okay, so let's do it this way. If it is text, we can say you cannot put a text. If it is a number, we want it to be blank. That means well, it's text. So let's do it. You see, it's just telling the person you cannot put a text. But for this one, let's just do this. If open bracket is a number, true is a number, we can say you cannot put a number, comma, if otherwise we want it to be this. So you see, once I put a number, you cannot put a number. For example, maybe I ask people to put gender, someone is putting 1, someone is putting 2, someone is putting something. It will tell the person, please, you cannot put a number. But if I want people to put text and someone put number, it will tell the person you cannot put number. If it is number that I want, someone put text, it will tell the person that you cannot put that. So there are many things you can do with all these functions, but it's complex way. Even this lower, upper, proper, you can use if condition in them. If someone come and put his name in a upper case, it will tell the person, please make it in proper way, or you talk to the person. These are the ways that you show that, yes, you know what you are doing and you understand what all these functions are all about. Don't worry. Like I said, some of you is just the beginning, and I believe some of you, of course, I know they are at the expert level of this, and I believe they understand what I'm saying, and I know they can do much, much more with all what we are doing here. So I think this is exactly where we are going to draw the curtain, and yeah, we stop at 42. Yeah, I think it's okay, 42. It's okay. Okay, so let's stop at this 42. Tomorrow we continue because we have others to continue. We have lots of them to continue. Okay, so let's stop here, please. If you have any question, you drop the question in the chat. I respond to your question. If you don't have any question, it's been a long night for us and we call it a day. So how many hours we did? 9, 10, 11, 06. So 3 hours, 6 minutes. I think it's worth it. Yeah, we did about 42 functions, so it's okay. So tomorrow we'll see what we can to round everything up and to finish everything. So some of you that keep asking, please, we need the data, we need this. I believe from now you know that you don't need my data. You can create your own data. You then run between and you go ahead and use your data. And that's how it works. And that's how you practice. That's how we all practice. If you don't have the data, go ahead and get your data. Go ahead and do that. Yeah. Yeah, we did the formula that count text. Someone was just asking, do we have any formula that count text? We did learn. Maybe you are not with us when we did learn formula, but don't worry. I believe you. When you watch the video, you will see the formula and you will see how it will count the text for you. You will see that. Okay. So if you have a question you ask, a lot of people have slept so far already. So, but yeah, we still have like 40 people that are awake. So it's okay. So if you have a question, you ask. If you don't, I think it's time we call it a day and we see tomorrow. Please, yeah, I'll share the all the recordings with you. I'll put them together, all the recordings, so that yeah, you can watch them and continue from there. I didn't get the question. Please, can you explain your question more? Because I see you want to ask some question, but I didn't understand what you are trying to say. Cell that contain text as incountable. I didn't understand you. Please, can you explain your question? Okay. Amelia, you say you are still awake. Okay, that's great. That's great. I hope you learned some new formula because you are doing your internship. We didn't cover most of the formula because of the time factor, you see. That's why we didn't cover them all. And I know this will help you a lot, will add more to the formula and we did. I think we did about like it's not up to 40 what we did then. So now we are going to do like 81. So it's something that I think you can add more to your database. So it's something that will help you a lot to do a lot. Okay. Someone was asking how can apply upper, lower, and proper. Please, when you watch the video, you can see it. I'm not going back to anything because it's recorded. So you can go ahead and watch that. How can I go to end of my data without double click and dragging and come back? Okay, hold your control and click on upper arrow key or down arrow key. So I'm here now. I hold control, click your down arrow key, hold control, click it back. It will take you back. That's how you can do go and come back. But if you want to highlight them all, you need to add shift in control. Hold shift and control. Down key, it will highlight everything or up key, it will just deselect everything. So that's how you can do it, Nura. Is there any formula that counts cell that contain text only? No, no. That's maybe that's your question. So the answer is no. I don't know of the formula. If anyone knows, please you can help. I don't know. Me, I don't know. But there is a way that we can know. It's just the way I teach you this. I told you that how you used to know the cleanness of your data. You can know the number of text that you have in the data. That means you need to count the count. When you apply the count, okay, I'm sorry. Like I was saying, you can count. Okay, some of you has dropped their question, but I didn't see it, so I lost all the chat. Okay, yeah, I can see it now. So I say you can count it. You can count it by yourself. When you apply count, count will count all the numbers. Count all will count all with numbers with text. So then you can minus count all minus count, it will give you the total text. That's how it works, and that's how you can do it. So this is the way that you can apply to do that. But I don't know of any that will help you to that will count only text for you without numbers and blanks. I don't know that. Okay. So I'm using version 2010. I couldn't found marks. I already said this. Maybe you are not with us when I say this from the beginning. Right from the beginning before we commence the class, I told you that I'm using updated version of Microsoft Excel. So me, I've been using it, I'm using it and I'm updating it. I paid. So if you want to use, you can pay, you can even get pre version. Pre version, you can get crack one to use. You can get crack one to use because you see me. That why you see that is my picture is here on top. You see, this is my account. You see, I have my account here, so that's what I have. So I don't know. Some of you, if you like, you go to getintopc.com. That's the website you can download 2019 version. 2019, you can install it. And when you install it, I think you can have all these functions that I used. You can go ahead and have them. But I know some of the functions you cannot see them. I said it right from the beginning. So max ifs, min ifs, text split is part of it. That's why I said text to column is what I used to teach people. Maybe tomorrow I will show you the text to column, which is the similar, which is a way of doing that text split. If you don't have text split function, you can use text to column. But it's not a function. That's why I didn't put it in the function. There are a lot of things that are not in the function. We're not treating them. The drop down, dependable drop down, all such things. We are not talking about them. Okay. So in the absence of any question, because I see there is no any question anymore. So let's call it a day. So see you tomorrow again, and we continue from exactly where we stop. I wish you all the best and have a okay. I'm back. I'm back. I just want to say good night to you. So, like I said, uh, let's draw the curtain here. I wish you all the best and have a very sweet dreams and see you tomorrow. So bye bye. Thank you so much.